Romero, he needs a win over Frank Martin to put his career back on track. The question is, can Rolly knock out Frank Martin? Listen, I mean, it's crazy. Frank Martin is the truth. We're gonna pay the utmost homage right now. Two electrifying boxers. Frank Martin, the Ghost. And if you're unfamiliar with the Ghost, I mean, you've been living under a rock. Everybody know what time it is with Frank. This dude, obviously with the PBC, repping, with Errol Spence. This dude, tried, true, and tested. I gotta give the utmost homage to the Ghost of Southpaw. This man has a record of 17-0 with 12 violent wins by the way of knockout. Violent. These things were haymakers. I mean, just downright filthy. And we seen it firsthand when he fought Rivera. A lot of people had that bout. Some people had Rivera winning that. And to see Frank Martin put him down like that, we got to pay the utmost homage, to Mr. Frank. And that card was a good card. Michelle Rivera, he lost, unanimously, but I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Rolando Romero, Mayweather Promotions. I'm not really sure what he's doing these days. Actually, I do. Rolly Romero has become the biggest sideshow in boxing. This is why I'm saying he needs a big time win. Now, when he brings up the name Frank Martin, you hear him go to Errol Spence, and I think that's just like a idiotic play, to push for Errol Spence. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Pushing for that fight. There's no way in God's green earth that fight is gonna happen. It's just not gonna. It just doesn't seem like it's ever gonna take place. It just seemed like a joke. And Errol Spence have called out Rolly for a clout, like this is a clout play, a clout move. It's definitely, not a good look, in my humble opinion. Rolly Romero, obviously coming off a violent knockout. I mean, I don't know if he's still, if the knockout is lingering. The way Rolly got put down by Gervonta Tank Davis. I mean, if you've been living under a rock, Gervonta Tank Davis is the truth and a half, undefeated, violently knocking everything out, moving. You seen what he just did to Hector Luis Garcia. I mean, it was dirty. This dude right now is about to engage in a big time bout with Ryan Garcia. And Golden Boy, and his situation, Gervonta. You see, Gervonta, he left, Mayweather Promotions. He said this was gonna be his last situation with Mayweather Promotions. A lot of people thought he was playing, and I thought he was too. But you see, Mayweather is nowhere to be found. So clearly, you see Tank coming into his own, and I think Mayweather wanted that for Tank, But back to the situation at hand, it's just gonna be a crazy situation. You got, Tank has moved on. He done fought already. He's already about to fight again. It seemed like the division is moving on, and Rolly seems like if you don't want to fight right now, because I think he need to just come out and say that. But all this, pondering and playing games, I think it doesn't make him look good. It makes him very entertaining. It drives up clicks and things of that nature. But we need to see Rolando Rolly Romero back in the ring. He turned down a bout with Cruz, if I'm not mistaken. That was with Pitbull Cruz. It's a lot of people that's coming out that Rolly could face, But I think Rolly, I don't know how people viewed him. Listen, even Tank said this guy's dangerous. He's an awkward fighter. We all know how he swing his punches. Very wild, very awkward. He just unorthodox. So. Could he, catch ghosts with something? Who knows? But this guy, Frank Martin, is the truth. I mean, when you're talking about prospects, I mean, he's right up there, with pretty much all of them. He's in the mix. Frank Martin is right there. So that's why when you're looking at a guy like Rolly, I think he really should entertain that bout. Because, yes, even though you do have a loss on your record, if he was to somehow, beat Frank Martin, I think you put the wheels back on the track. You get the swagger back where not only now, are you discussing, you know, a situation where, oh man, I'm just a talker. No, now you able to add some backing with that talking again, you know, like he had before, you know. But it seemed like since the knockout, I wouldn't say he lost. He kind of, and not only the knockout, but the way he's been conducting himself after the knockout, you know, I think it's kind of got giving people kind of, you know, like what the hell is going on. But shout out to Rolly. I'm hoping the best for him to revitalize his career. Boxing to be entertaining again if he's involved. You know, he's one of the guys, man. But that loss hurt him. He's 27 years old, so he's got a lot more, you know, tread on those tires. You know, it's not over for him. I hope that, you know, it's not over. The Ghost, we already know the Southpaw. He's 28. You know, from Detroit. You know, resided in Indianapolis. You know, this dude got serious power. You know, so I don't know if that's something that Rolly Romero is taking a side eye to, and like, oh, I don't know about this. You know, this guy's power will have anybody trembling and thinking, you know, like, hey, I don't know if I should move forward with this. You know, so you see it firsthand. You know, and if I don't know where Rolly goes from here. You know, I think he definitely needs to fight a marquee guy. I don't think Rolly could go in there, even though it probably wouldn't hurt. You know, but if Rolly want to get back to that, you know, star-studded, you know, situation, he's gonna have to get one of the top guys, you know, one of the top prospects, and hand them a defeat, you know, or look very good, you know, to the point where people, people could kind of, you know, respect you again in the ring. I don't think people disrespect him in the ring, but I think some of his antics have overshadowed, you know, his in-ring work, you know. And like I said, we hope to see this man again. You know, straight up. There's so many great fights right now in the sport of boxing. Hit that like button and most definitely hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on Mr. Rolly Romero. You know, do y'all think, you know, what y'all think about this situation? You know, this will be, you know, this will be a great fight. You know, boxing, there's so many good fights, you know, getting thrown around. You know, obviously, we don't know for sure what's going to happen, you know, with Errol Spence and Crawford. You know, we still are not 100%, but it seemed like we at the finish line, you know, with Spence, you know, with Ryan and Tank. You know, boxing could use, you know, some big fights, you know. And if Rolly Romero and Frank Martin is on the card, and you heard Frank Martin after his defeat with Rolly, Rolly, we could get it in, we could do this, that, and the third. But Rolly did win Frank, the Ghost Martin, did win the title eliminator. So, you know, he should be in line for Devin Haney, you know, and he called out Haney. You know, he should be in line. So Frank, I know he got to pick and choose. I know he don't want to see Shakur. You know, I don't think it makes sense, you know, for him to fight Shakur. And we'll take on that, you know, next time we discuss about the Ghosts. Hit that like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports TV. We got a lot of boxing content. You know, shout out to Floyd Kid Austin Schofield. You know, the man out there in Golden Boy, man. You already know one of the top prospects, if not the top prospect in boxing at 135. This division is stacked. It's Flight Sports TV. Peace and love.